Hi guys, today we're going to talk about multiplying matrices. A matrix product, remember the word product means to multiply, so a matrix product is the matrix that is produced when you multiply two or more matrices. The key thing that you need to remember, and it's really important, is that something special has to take place in order for you to be able to multiply. You cannot just multiply any random matrices together. So the thing that is very important that has to happen is that the number of columns in the first matrix has to equal the number of rows in the second matrix. So the first thing you need to do is look at the dimensions. So for A, the dimensions of A has 2 rows and 3 columns. So this is a 2 by 3. And over here in matrix B, this is a 1, 2, 3 rows by 2 columns, a 3 by 2. So what you want to do is look at the number of columns in the first one, and it has to match the number of rows in the second one. So if you write the dimensions down, the last number here has to match the first number here. Now the remaining values, if you say, yeah, these match, the remaining ones are going to be the dimensions of your matrix whenever you do multiply. So if I multiply A times B together, I should get a 2 by 2 matrix for A times B. That would be the dimensions. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to do this by hand because you can run into a lot of errors, a lot of problems. It takes a lot of concentration, even to the point where I sit there and I'm like, oh, whoa, what did I do wrong? So let's just do it in the calculator. I won't ask you to do it by hand. You can have your calculator the whole time. So you've already learned how to put a matrix in your calculator. So you just want to go to the matrix second and then the x to the -1 button right here. Pull up a matrix, and we need to put matrix A and matrix B in our calculator. So go over to edit, and let's edit matrix A. And we said it's a 2 by 3, so 2 by 3. Okay, and then put in the numbers 4, 1, 0, 2, 3, 6. And then remember to always quit this screen. Don't start typing anything or it'll try to put it in the matrix. Second quit. All right, now we need to put in matrix B. So again, second and then the matrix button. Go over to edit and go down to B. Make sure that you don't do A again or else you're going to change it and lose A. So in matrix B, this is a 3 by 2. 3 by 2. So we need to go 3 by 2. And then put in that information, 1, 0, 2, 4, -1, 1. And again, quit the screen. All right, now that we have our matrices put in A and B, let's go and get those matrices. And you do not have to put the multiplication symbol between them, because just like in math, if you have 3x, that means 3 times whatever the x value is. This AB is meaning matrix A times matrix B. So I could just, in my calculator, enter on matrix A, go and get matrix B, and then press enter, and there is the multiplied matrix. Okay, so I'm going to move this off the screen, and we'll say A, B equals 6, 2, 4, 18. Okay, so that's how you're going to be able to do multiplying matrices. Something else that's really important is to talk about what a square matrix is. A square matrix has the same number of rows and columns. This would be considered a square matrix. It has 2 rows and 2 columns, a 2 by 2. So as long as the 2 numbers for its dimensions are the same, then you have a square matrix. So we could make a square matrix with 1, 3, 2, 0, 6, 4, negative 7, 9, 1. That is a 3 by 3 matrix that would be considered a square matrix. Okay, when you do have a square matrix, the entries that start at the top left and go diagonally to the bottom right, that is called the main diagonal. So you start at the top left and draw a diagonal line to the bottom right. Those entries make up the main diagonal. Okay, so this is the main diagonal here. Okay, it's just important to know. Maybe I give you a problem and I say circle the main diagonal like what I've done here. You need to know what the main diagonal is. The next thing that you need to know about is an identity matrix. An identity, if you think back to how we discussed it in the beginning of the year, an identity, if you have 4 plus 0, you get 4. That's the additive identity is 0 because that's the number that will give you back whatever you start with. If we do a multiplicative identity, think of multiplication. 1, let's do 5. A number, whatever your number is when you begin, if you multiply it by 1, you will get that number back. So 1 is the identity, okay? So when we talk about an identity matrix, the same type of thing will happen. If I multiply a given matrix by an identity matrix, I will get the matrix that I started out with. So if I said take matrix A and multiply it by an identity matrix, we'll call it I will get matrix A as the output or as the outcome. Okay, that will be the product. Okay, so the identity matrix looks very special. An entry of 1 only exists in the main diagonal. Each main diagonal entry is a 1. All of the others have to be 0. Okay? And of course it has to be a square matrix. Okay? So make sure that you understand all of that. That is it for this video. I'll show you how identity matrices work in another video when we actually have to use them to show stuff. So that's it for this one. Have a great day.